Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguela. Two national policies formulated by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy have been unveiled by President Muhammadu Buhari in furtherance of his administration's efforts at effectively securing the country, enhancing economic development and fighting corruption. They are the national policy for the promotion of indigenous content in Nigeria's telecommunications sector, as well as the revised national identity policy for SIM card registration. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The national policy for the promotion of indigenous content in the ICT sector is aimed at ensuring that Nigerians become active participants in various sectors of the economy. This, President Buhari said, is in line with the mandate given to the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy to collaborate more effectively with the private sector towards creating a large number of well-paying jobs for Nigerians in furtherance of efforts at lifting 100 million out of poverty in 10 years.
As a country, our desire to produce what we eat and consume what we produce is not limited to the literal meaning. Rather, we want to work towards being self-sufficient in every sector of the economy. For the telecom sector, we want Nigerians to play a major role in the design and manufacture of devices, in meeting the manpower requirements, and in becoming an active part of the telecommunication ecosystem of the country.
The revised National Digital Identity Policy for SIM card registration, on the other hand, will support government's genuine efforts at enhancing national security and stability for sustainable economic development. The president, who described NIN as the foundational digital ID for the country, said attempts made in the past to promote its usage were futile due to a number of reasons, including sabotage.
We are fully committed to the safety of Nigerians, and linking the SIM to national identification number will significantly enhance security. This is an incredible achievement. I'm very, very pleased with that. We'll be able to identify people, including the crooks. Yeah. Our goal is to make sure technology provides a platform for improving service delivery in the country and does not become a tool for fighting crimes.
Consequently, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, has again been directed by the President to ensure that no SIM card is allowed to access Nigeria's telecommunications network unless attached to the national identification number. He also directed the minister to coordinate the implementation of both national policies and urge all stakeholders to ensure compliance. The minister, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, had earlier told participants that the two national policies, which he described as robust, are products of effective collaboration and cooperation with critical stakeholders from both private and public sectors, including security agencies.
Some of the initiatives we have introduced recently are being copied by other African countries, and they are always making reference to our modest innovation and also trying to emulate what we have been doing. When it comes to national identification number, within 6 months we were able to achieve over 12 million citizens who have enrolled in the database. Part of our effort of promoting indigenous content in ICT sector, we were able to establish a world-class SIM card manufacturing company in Nigeria, which has the capacity to be producing a minimum of 200 million SIMs annually.
During the event, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami was applauded by the president for what he called the landmark achievements of the digital economic sector, including championing the growth and development of the local content initiative. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Though Nigeria is facing diverse challenges, it will overcome the problems and realize its potential, especially if people who share progressive views continue to work together in the interests of the country. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo stated this when he received members of a Southwest think tank known as Imodoye, led by former Ogun State Governor Otumba Gbenga Daniel. Let's hear more from State House correspondent Jide Onifedi.
Speaking on the efforts of the administration to address some of the challenges confronting Nigerians, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo noted that the best way out is to have a massive plan for investment to create opportunities for jobs, which the government is hoping to achieve with the Economic Sustainability Plan. The Vice President reiterated that the welfare of the people and the progress of the country has always been and will remain the priority of the All Progressives Congress and that of the administration. Leader of the delegation and former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, says the visit is to identify with and support the cause of the Vice President, whom he describes as intelligent, hardworking, articulate, and a very proud son of the Southwest region in the task of nation building.
Because it's only when we have a country that we can begin to talk of party A and party B. So the first challenge we have now is of all of us to join hands together to ensure that we have a country.
The former governor, who is now an APC member, was accompanied on the Katsu visit by some other new entrants into the party. In the State House, Jide Onifedi, NTA News.
Senate has reaffirmed its resolve to continue to work as partners in progress with the various security agencies in the country. President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, was speaking shortly before the commencement of a scheduled security meeting with Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, Inspector General of Police and heads of security agencies. He acknowledged the role of the military so far in fighting insecurity in the country, which he said is affected by insufficient resources. The President of the Senate observed that the engagement of providing the necessary resources to enable them strengthen the armed forces. He noted that addressing the current national security challenge will improve Nigeria's economy and make it a hub for investment in Africa. Well, let's join Kende in Lagos for our next set of reports. Kende, it's your turn.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. Lagos State government says several proactive measures have been put in place, especially at the entry point into the state to curb a possible third wave of the coronavirus. Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, broke the news at a ministerial briefing to mark the second-year anniversary of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in office. Musa Taliat completes the report.
Measures put in place in readiness for a possible third wave of COVID-19 pandemic are captured in 5 pillars. These include ramping up PCR test capacity with additional mutant PCR tests introduced, the deployment of Eco-Telemed, a medical technology to monitor inbound travelers, non-pharmaceutical interventions, vaccination, and other treatment options.
We're ramping up our oxygen strategy to make sure that we are not caught flat-footed, and that if we do go into a third wave and there's a high demand for oxygen, that we can meet that demand. We're now deploying Eco-Telemed to monitor inbound travelers to make sure that they are isolating according to the guidelines and that they come for their day 7 test.
With more than 250,000 already vaccinated across the metropolis, Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, who is also the state's deputy incident commander, says those who have not been vaccinated will be encouraged to do so before the commencement of second round of vaccination in few weeks. Professor Abayomi stressed that the COVID-19 experience gathered is helping the state's medical team to effectively respond to other health challenges, including drug resistance, tuberculosis, and HIV and AIDS across the metropolis. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And now to security matters. Nigeria's leading role in ensuring maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea can be carried out when there is working collaboration among nations of interest. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Jason Bassa, said this while receiving the captain of a Portuguese naval ship NRP Setable P363 on a visit to Lagos. Adeni Taiwo completes the report.
The Gulf of Guinea is 300 miles long covering an area of 2.35 million kilometers of water. The challenge of ensuring maritime security along this important sector of the Atlantic Ocean, known for sea piracy, requires both far-reaching maritime policies and effective collaboration. The arrival of Vianado Castelo NRP Setúbal P363, an offshore patrol vessel of the Portuguese Navy on the shores of the Western Naval Command, with the promise of collaboration, is a cheering news for the Flag Officer Commanding Jason Bassa, who received the visiting ship, and a captain, Commander Arthur George Martins.
We were working with friends in the region, conducting skiffs or conducting rips, and help them to increase skills of the sailors.
Although Nigeria is a major force in the maritime sector and the Gulf of Guinea, the task of ensuring security requires broad collaboration among members of the international maritime community.
We are looking at exchange programs. We are looking at any way we can develop capacity, both ways, for us to collaborate and be able to expand our capacity.
In the last 2 months, the Western Naval Command, APAPA, has played host to 3 foreign naval ships. The fourth, NRP Setúbal P363, is visiting Nigeria for the first time since it was commissioned in Lisbon, Portugal, as an offshore patrol vessel in February 2019. Our next port of call is Ghana and Cape Verde. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Now, with the spate of insecurity across the country, the need to support and encourage those in the front line remains critical to the wives of the Nigerian Air Force officers and men. This was re-echoed when the national president of NAFOA visited the NAF Logistics Command in Lagos. Lynn Nineke reports.
For the Nigerian Air Force to successfully achieve its mandate in ensuring that every battle is won, especially as it pertains to insecurity, the National President Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, Elizabeth Amao, says the home front must be peaceful and settled. While urging the women to be role models, she tasked them to support and pray for their husbands, especially as they combat insecurity in the country.
We should be prayerful. We should remember our husbands and our family in the prayers, and our dear nation, Nigeria, especially this time of insecurity. Please, ladies, I need your full support and cooperation.
The national president also reiterated the association's commitment to ensuring that their needs are met.
There is an urgent need for a bus for NAFOA LC chapter to ease movement for functions. Additionally, the NAFOA Little Angel School, Shasha, is located in a temporary site, which is the officers' mess building. This building has become inadequate to accommodate the children. There is a need to move to the permanent site.
In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a short break now. The news continues with Ruth in Abuja afterwards.
My name is Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture. I just received my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm glad I did so. This vaccine has been proven to be safe and efficacious. And as long as we take this vaccine and we continue to obey the COVID-19 protocols, such as frequent washing of hands, use of sanitizer, wearing of masks in public places, keeping social distancing, avoiding gatherings, we are sure going to beat COVID-19.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest asset the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youth. scholarships, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Sheffield United only have their pride to play for when Crystal Palace visit this Saturday. On the Premier League Live is Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari welcomes the release of the 27 students of the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, near Kaduna, and congratulates their friends, families, and the government and people of Kaduna State following the happy end to this saga. President Buhari, in a message, expresses deep appreciation to all the actors who contributed one way or the other to this happy outcome, in particular the defense and security agencies, the officials of the Ministry of Environment and the government of Kaduna State, and thanked Nigerians for their prayers. President Buhari called for steadfastness and security awareness on the part of citizens and the law enforcement agencies, and deplored the increasing politicization of security in the country by opportunistic politicians. The president appealed for the release of the students of the Greenfield University and all other citizens held in captivity, expressing the strong determination of his administration to ensure that Nigerians lived in a country where everyone can move where they want, when they want, without the fear of kidnapping and banditry. Similarly, the All Progressives Congress has also expressed joy over the release of the students abducted from the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, in Kaduna State. The National Secretary, Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the APC, in a statement said it is heartwarming that the students have been reunited with their family, friends and other loved ones. The party commended all stakeholders involved in their release and reiterated continued support of ongoing efforts by the Buhari administration towards a quick and permanent solution to the security challenges. Well, the remaining students of the Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Mechanization, Afaka Kaduna, are receiving medical attention, we hear, at a police facility in Kaduna, preparatory to the reunion with their parents. Let's hear from Achari Maxwell.
Kaduna State Police Command Clinic, where the 29 released students of the College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, are kept. They were brought in here yesterday to be taken care of. The Kaduna State Police Commissioner, Mohammed Umar Muri, has visited the students in a medical facility and confirmed that all are in stable condition.
You know, we have 20 females and 7 males. And I can tell you without mincing with that most of them are stable. But the doctors are still working on them. We are waiting for the doctors' evaluation on them. When that is done, then we'll get back to you and let you know how far we can go or how far we are doing.
In the meantime, parents and guardians of the students have already converged on the college in Afaka, waiting to reunite with the students. In Kaduna, Achari Maxwell, NTA News.
So much joy there. Well, let's join our correspondent live now in Afaka, Kaduna. He is presently at the Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Mechanization to give us an update. Abdullahi, if you can hear me, what's the update at this time?
Ago, parents trooped into the school, exchanging pleasantries and thanking God, chanting, also expressing happiness with the release of these students. But at around 2 o'clock this afternoon, school management informed the parents that these students are still receiving medical attention at a health facility here in Kaduna, so they cannot be able to bring them today, but they will be brought into the school tomorrow for handover to the school management and to the parents and guardians of the students. So that is the situation for now. Now you can see that the school premises is empty. Only the security guards are on ground to maintain law and order. But we are the only people on ground, so to say, and also by tomorrow at around 7 o'clock, like they started trooping in today, definitely the parents and guardians, as being told by the school management, will also come back to the school in anticipation of these students.
Okay, Abdullahi, before we came on you, we saw the parents jubilating. I don't know if you got a chance to speak to any of the families of the released abducted students.
Of course, I spoke with about 3 of them, and they were all full of praises to God Almighty and thanking the federal and state government and also other stakeholders who have contributed immensely towards the release of these students. And one important message I got from one of the parents is that these students who were abducted should not be panicked. They should come back to school in full force, and that challenge should be a source of strength for them to be able to come back. And also, he was sending a message to other, youths out there to consider this not as a factor that will stop them from going to school, but as an energizing force that they should go to school, they should study. This should not deter them from going to school. So that message is very key, is very central. But generally, the parents were full of praises. Those that I interviewed, they really expressed happiness with this development.
Okay, and lastly, just before I let you go, you showed us the premises of the school outside the school there. You talked about the security agencies present at the school there, but did you by any chance get a hold of other members of the school concerning what you're just telling us now, if they're willing to go back to school because of that fear, you know?
Yes, actually, when we came in, even in the morning, the students and also some teachers that we gist with or we had a conversation with, they were full of hopes. Hope is not dashed. They were present. They were even ready to receive their mates who are coming into the school. And definitely, one of the teachers I interviewed also said that many of the students have been calling them on phone, when is the school going to resume? So that is an indication that really the school, the teachers here and also the students are willing to come back in full force and also continue with the academic activities as scheduled.
All right, thank you very much, Abdullahi. We'll definitely keep in touch with you to get the latest update. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, our correspondent there reporting from Afaka, Kaduna, and giving us a situation report of the released abducted student. Let's look at all the issues. The Nigeria Police Trust Fund and the African Global Empowerment Development Network have met and resolved to rehabilitate training institutions of the Nigeria Police Force across the country. This is to enhance capacity building for the police force. Francis Fom reports.
The news that the Nigeria police training institutions are in their need of attention
As a response to this need, the federal government set up the Nigeria Police Trust Fund to meet the funding challenges of the force. In achieving this mandate, the Nigeria Police Trust Fund visited the Africa Global Empowerment and Development Network to seek collaboration.
The collaboration between the two agencies will no doubt help in successful implementation of projects and the programs for Nigeria Police Force.
President of the network reiterates his commitment to assisting the police to reconstruct its training institutions with a view to enhancing the capacity of the personnel in the attainment of policing mandates.
I travel with my team across the world. We see how the training institution has been established. We come up with this policy to transform and reconstruct all the training school into modern standard of the world. We have secure funds internationally. We have secure support internationally. We have already set up all the necessary mechanisms.
Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund believes the collaboration will change the narrative and the force and bring about better performance. Francis from NTA News.
Our next stop will be Jos, and Felicia is set to guide us. Felicia.
Thank you, Ruth. Welcome to Jos. Governor Simon Lalong has expressed concern over the level of unemployment of Plateau people at the federal level and urged the Federal Character Commission to urgently address the matter. This was when he received the commissioner representing the state at the Federal Character Commission, Abuja, Stephen Jinks. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
Receiving the commissioner, Governor Simon Lalong said he was worried over the rate of unemployment and stressed the need for the state to have its fair share in federal appointments. His administration, he pointed out, will continue to push and to ensure that indigents of the state access more job opportunities at the federal level.
Employment is very important. Engagement is important. And appointment is very, very important. We have voted to help people. These are part of the opportunities. We continue to help our people. And that is why, like you said, you are very determined. That is what you are appointed to do. I'm not disappointed in you, so continue to do it to the best of your ability.
The President has asked us, at the time of budget presentation, can you go to the budget office, find out what project is going to which zone of this country, find out which project is going to which state. We should be able to distribute some of these things in such a manner that everybody will have a fair share of what is the Commonwealth.
The commissioner hints that the federal government is working towards ensuring equitable distribution of the country's resources. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
It's often said that security is the business of all and shouldn't be left for government alone. This informed management of University of Jos to organize training for its security personnel to combat any threat to the institution. Alisa Butukai Andrew has details.
The exercise has become necessary as some institutions of learning are facing security challenges. For management of the university, the training aims at ensuring a secured environment for learning, research, and community development. The training, therefore, is expected to equip participants with knowledge and skills on intelligence and security.
After this training, we all in this university community, we expect nothing but enhanced security.
Security is related to safety. Even if you want to look for admission into the best university in the world, and you get to know that security is at the end, would you want to apply to that kind of university if you are not one of them?
The exercise is structured in batches to accommodate the 460 participants.
It is expected that the security division will perform their duties diligently, conscientiously, and better.
We have gotten a lot of training from the capable persons.
I taught it only to protect life and property, but I was meant to understand I also protect information.
The training is expected to last 2 weeks. In Jos, Elizabeth Kai Andrew, NTA News.
This is Nationwide. We'll take another break. The news continues shortly. Stay with us.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
NTA News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
It's the dawn of a new era on NTA's flagship program, the Sports Parliament, revitalized with lots of varieties, including feedback responses from viewers. Sports Parliament, the weekly sports show that exposes all the intrigues in the Nigerian sports sector and projects an agenda on the way forward for Nigerian sports. On NTA every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. running for 1 whole hour discussing sports. The parliamentarians are more committed than ever to enlighten the viewers as the Sports Parliament takes it to a whole new level on the floor of the House. Keep a date with the Sports Parliament as motions are moved every Thursday on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, with his gavel to harmonize sports resolutions. The House have it.
Sheffield United only have their pride to play for when Crystal Palace visit this Saturday. On the Premier League Live is Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. The House of Representatives says it is committed to improving access to healthcare system for the benefit of all. Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila gave this assurance in a message to a public hearing on 2 health bills. Mobolaji Moribiri reports.
2 health bills are on the Federal Medical Center, Honk, Adamawa State, and the National Emergency for Sickle Cell Disease and Other Heritable Blood Disorder in Nigeria.
That these bills being debated today will further improve on our health system.
We made commitments to improve access to healthcare services for all our people, increase funding for healthcare research, improve the mechanisms for training and providing for our healthcare professionals, among other things. So I ask you to make the best of this opportunity in the best interest of our country.
Relevant stakeholders gave their submissions, stating different opinions on the bills.
Visit from West African College of Obstetrics and Gynecology visited that site, and they approved of it and even thought that it will be a wasted effort if that facility is not put to full use as a federal medical center.
The Federal Ministry of Health wishes to submit that the Department of Public Health within the Federal Ministry of Health, which currently deals with non-communicable diseases, be strengthened to continue this work, which falls within its mandate.
The bills, if eventually passed into laws, seek to improve the Nigeria healthcare system. From the National Assembly, Mobolaji Moribiri, NTA News.
The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, under the leadership of the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, is deeply saddened by the heightened degree of insecurity in the country. In a statement by the Deputy Secretary General, Professor Salisu Shehu, the Council enjoins governments at all levels to redouble efforts at protecting the citizens and citizens to be vigilant. The Council also enjoins Muslims to use the last few days of the Ramadan fast to be generous to the poor and pray for Allah to grant peace to all troubled parts. The national policy on inclusive volunteerism has been unveiled by the federal government. Now, the policy seeks to promote the culture of volunteerism towards sustainable national development. Let's hear about it more from Mitari Ikben.
Volunteers give their time and skills freely for a task they are passionate about, such as community service. Their activities go a long way in complementing government's developmental efforts. However, the culture of volunteerism is believed to be declining in Nigeria.
People are not aware of the benefits of volunteerism. People believe that it's just for them to come out and do something. Of course, it's something that you do willingly, not with financial gain. But at the end, a lot of gain can come from volunteerism.
This national policy, approved by the Federal Executive Council, is part of government strategies towards reviving the culture of volunteerism in Nigeria. It provides strategic guidelines for facilitators in government and the private sector to encourage and promote volunteerism across the country.
Nigerian government has recognized volunteerism as a potential force, and on the part of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, I wish to assure you that we will give all the necessary and required support for each MDA to make sure this policy works.
A sensitization workshop is ongoing for focal persons in ministries, departments, and agencies of government who are expected to drive the implementation of the national policy. In Abuja, Mitari Ikben, NTA News.
Addressing the increasing rate of drug abuse and the need for family planning among Muslim families have been identified as panacea to reducing crime and poverty in the society. This was the thrust of a Ramadan lecture organized by the Jama'atu Izalatil Bidda wa Ikamati Sunnah in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Robinson Darataide reports.
Jibways, under its Gateway Orphanage and Widows Welfare Foundation, brought together Muslim women and children across Rivers State to sensitize them on the dangers of drug abuse and the need for family planning as a panacea to curbing the rate of vices in families. Speakers emphasized the need for married women to space childbearing and give birth to only the number of children they could cater for, even as they disabuse the perception of some women using tramadol to reduce menstrual pains.
We are not advocating that you should not have a kid, but we have as many as we can, but ensure that their well-being is taken care of.
The abuse of hard and non-prescriptive drugs, according to them, can lead to hallucination, psychosis, and deadly diseases like cancer.
They are taking those drugs for a long period of time. You start behaving funny, having psychosis, which can lead to madness. Some of them do cause heart diseases.
As part of Allah's commandment for the season, the organization gave out food items, noodles, clothing, and sewing machines to Muslim widows and orphans.
They will have a lot of things to be happy that they are living within the same human and they are enjoying the same facility every other person should actually would have enjoyed.
Most of the women that are being empowered today are widows, some with 5 children, some with 6 children. But if they had had the lessons of family planning while they were still married to their husband, probably they would not have more than the number of children they would have catered for.
Muslims the world over are currently observing Ramadan fast as commanded by the Quran. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Darataide, NTA News.
Delivering the second phase of the National Action Plan of the Open Government Partnership will improve service delivery and instill public confidence in the governance of the nation. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports that the action plan will be concluded in 2022.
Nigeria has been grappling with scores of security challenges, and all think tanks from various walks of life have been deliberating on the way forward. Good Morning Nigeria this Thursday presented another forum for such discussions, as guests on the program speaking on best ways to forge a common front for national cohesion noted that the challenges of Nigeria are not beyond solutions. However, there is need for government to provide a clear direction for the nation by engaging the people and carrying them along in the formulation of policies, recognizing the role of youths, and also engaging and training them in the acts of governance.
Significant proportion of the Nigerian citizenry believe that the Constitution was imposed and lacks the basic fundamental legitimacy, and therefore challenge not only the Constitution, but also challenge the powers of the makers of the Constitution.
Every community knows the bad eggs. If the traditional rulers are not being protected by the Constitution, because the constitutional role has not been given to them.
Guests also noted that government must always live up to their responsibility of providing security for all and properly sensitize and educate Nigerians on the intent and purpose of certain government decisions.
The solution is just for the leadership to live up to expectation, to live up to the Constitution. Listen, the Constitution is not as bad as we think it is.
Let us make Nigeria the Nigeria that we want. And it's not difficult. We just have to call these people out and let them know we know you.
The people, on the other hand, must avoid every divisive tendencies, support government, and remain patriotic to the nation. In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, NTA News.
We apologize for the mix-up there. That was a report where guests were speaking on Good Morning Nigeria. NTA's Good Morning Nigeria on sincerity, equity and fairness for all, talking about cohesion. But let's look at other issues. 3 governors of the People's Democratic Party are in Cross River State to engage Governor Ben Ayade and other stakeholders towards resolving contentions arising from previous congresses in the state. Paul Abel reports.
A PDP in Cross River State has been divided, with some party members loyal to the governor, while others to National Assembly members. This is occasioned by alleged disagreements at the congresses, leading to 2 separate lists of elected officials. Though the scenario went to the courts, the mandate given now to the governors by the PDP Governors Forum, sanctioned by the National Working Committee, is to bring an amicable solution to all parties involved.
Every one of them is interested in ensuring that we restore normalcy, we do the right thing and ensure that the family is brought back together and work together for the common interest of the people of Cross River State.
The governors also visited the state chicken processing factory and the noodles factory, also known as Kisimi.
I'm not sure we have something like this in the country at the moment.
And this is industrializing Cross River and Nigeria generally.
Beautiful, adding value to the economy. God bless you.
It is expected that the visit will create a new peaceful atmosphere for the party in the state. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
All right, let's still look at other issues. The All Progressives Congress Governors Forum has joined Plateau State Governor and Chairman Northern Governors Forum Simon Bako Lalong to celebrate his birthday. The forum's chairman and governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, in a statement, acknowledged the leadership, vision and commitment of Plateau State Governor to a united, prosperous Nigeria. He said under the leadership of APC, the contributions of Governor Lalong to the team of Progressives governors through his insightful inputs to the processes of managing governance in Plateau State, as well as the entire northern Nigeria and at the national level, is worthy. The APC governors used the opportunity to reiterate their support for the federal government under President Muhammadu Buhari to resolve all the nation's security challenges. All right, let's go on a break. We're back. Stay tuned.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting
infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real. You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live. Thanks for being there. 480 police special constabulary have been officially drafted into police intelligence gathering in Osun State to sustain the peaceful atmosphere currently enjoyed by residents. Bolaji Akim reports.
The special police constabulary are to drive the community policing initiative of the federal government. The 480 personnel was selected by the Community Policing Committee, and they went through training at the Police College Eleyele in Ibadan, where they were exposed to various police trainings on modern police techniques. Apart from providing information that will help the police in crime prevention, they are also expected to bring community closer to the police.
They are to be under this direct supervision of the divisional police officers, so we will modify the activities and ensure that the activities are in line with the extant rules governing the police itself.
The Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, urged the new police special constabulary to make use of the knowledge acquired during their training.
We initiated and sustained an inclusive security arrangement that brings all our communities into a network to cooperate with and support the police and other security agencies to achieve the security and safety that Osun people desire and deserve.
The special constabulary was selected from the 34 local governments in the state, and they will be deployed to their various communities for optimal performance. In Osogbo, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
And in Delta State, the police command has paraded 70 suspected criminals at the command headquarters, Asaba. Rosemary Omani reports that the suspects were involved in various crimes ranging from murder to kidnapping.
Best be described as harvest of suspects was what transpired at the Delta State Police Headquarters in Asaba. Following a huge number of suspects paraded, the offences are not limited to the following: murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, cultism, possession of illicit drugs, stealing, car snatching, and illegal operation of fake alcohol factory, while the owner of the illegal factory promises to turn a new leaf if eventually set free. He pleads his talent and dream should not die.
If people like me is being actually helped, then I believe people will be having good wine at a very good price.
I caught her with razor blade. That is why they say I wanted to kill her.
The Commissioner of Police, Ari Mohammed Ali, says Delta State under his watch will be a danger zone to all criminals.
Our primary assignment, which is to provide adequate security for the good people of Delta State and to ensure Delta State is safe for all.
The Commissioner of Police also stated that the enormous successes recorded by his command so far is as a result of their proactiveness in crime fighting, which include peace meeting with herders and farmers and community policing, among others, on assumption of office. In Asaba, I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has again stressed the need for urgent action to address violence against security personnel, the latest of which is the Thursday morning attack on the police station at Obasi town in Idemili, Anambra State, during which 2 of the police personnel were killed. Coming on the matter of urgent importance, Representative Obinna Chidoka stated that the attack was carried out by unknown hoodlums who also carted away arms and ammunition from the station's armory. The House commiserated with the families of the deceased police personnel and emphasized that such acts of brigandage that threatens lives, property and peace in communities should be addressed. The lawmakers called on federal government to, in line with an earlier resolution of the House of Representatives, declare a state of emergency on security nationwide. The peaceful coexistence of the Nigerian people and the sustainable development of the country have continued to dominate calls from public-spirited Nigerians and organizations for a stable and progressive nation. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the latest group to take its campaign to the National Front is a non-political group chronicled I Stand with Buhari.
The spate of incessant tension disrupting public peace and breeding violent attacks on Nigerians and security infrastructure in parts of the country is the purpose for convening this session.
It is very unfortunate, especially with the new spate of attacks on our armed forces, especially in the eastern part of the country, who shows how wicked and desperate these sponsors are. The burning of police stations, public buildings, vehicles, and bombing of buildings belonging to political office holders. How do they believe they can win this stupidity?
The group urged Nigerians to remain committed and have faith in the determination of the federal government and national security forces to return the country to the path of peace and national development.
It is rather sad and disheartening that these individuals and pressure groups do not mind sponsoring the death of thousands of their fellow citizens, kidnapping young kids, and even raping and murdering them, while sabotaging effort by armed forces so they can politicize issues on security to create chaos and possibly bring down the government and push Nigeria into an ethnic war.
The organization commended efforts of the federal government in the pursuit of lasting peace in the northeast, the southeast, as well as addressing other internal security challenges bedeviling the country. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
The Albino Foundation is appealing to the federal government to restate free cancer treatment for those with albinism, cautioning that many lives have been lost. The appeal came during the celebration of the 2021 National Albinism Day held virtually. Abdulmalik Hassan reports.
With the theme, Beyond and Above All Odds, this meeting is celebrating those with albinism in Nigeria. They have equal rights like many others, but stereotyped for being albino. Ibitiro Green is one that once suffered discrimination in matrimony. All she wanted was to be loved and cared for.
Been through a lot as an albino. Let me start my ex-husband, where when I wake up in the morning and I want to say good morning, the first thing he would say to me, go and put makeup, go and put makeup.
The Albino Foundation says albinism is not a curse, and just like every other person, those with albinism deserve to live and not to be discriminated.
Zero discrimination for persons
with albinism, zero discrimination for persons with disability, zero discrimination for everyone. No one should be discriminated.
What we can do is also to facilitate that process, provide the platforms, provide the avenues where women with albinism can come and actually speak about their lived experiences. And also we can facilitate forging those alliances with the wider community of women.
Pituro Green and her likes are hoping for a better future for those living with albinism and to participate in public offices without being stigmatized. Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with journalist and fervent Buharist Abuchi Anuyagu as he clocks 60 May 6, 2021. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President salutes the staying power of the Anuyagu, a long-time supporter who has weathered all storms to stand by his convictions. President Buhari rejoices with the media fraternity, the family, friends and associates on the milestone occasion, wishing the journalist good health and length of days to continue serving his community and the country. Also, President Muhammadu Buhari has extended deepest sympathies to the family of Pastor Enoch Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, on the passing of his son, Pastor Dare Adeboye. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari urges them to find comfort in the teachings of the Holy Scriptures, that those who have chosen to serve God faithfully will serve him as he is in eternity. The President prays God Almighty to grant the departed rest in his everlasting kingdom and comfort grieving family, friends and associates. You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live. We're done with Nationwide. Thank you for your company. But remember, we can win the fight against rape and rapists together. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.